Good evening. Concerns are growing that Melbourne may be on the brink of an underworld war following what appears to be a targeted revenge killing in the city's north. 21-year-old Athan Boursinos was shot dead while entering his BMW in Wollert early Thursday morning. 7 News can confirm he was the son of a former long-serving Victoria police officer. The attack, a quiet morning, shattered at approximately 9 a.m. on Thursday, July 31, 2025. Athan Boursinos stepped into a laneway behind Champions Parade near his home in Wollert. It was a quiet, residential area, typically used by families walking dogs or children riding bikes. Suddenly, he was confronted by a man. Moments later, a volley of gunfire rang out. Neighbors, startled by the noise, initially mistook it for fireworks or construction. Calls to emergency services quickly followed. When paramedics and police arrived, Boursinos was found critically injured. Despite efforts to save him, he died at the scene. A targeted attack, not a random crime. From the outset, investigators were clear. This was not a random act of violence. The nature of the attack pointed to a planned and deliberate shooting, carried out with a specific target in mind. The killer disappeared quickly, setting off one of Melbourne's most urgent homicide investigations in recent memory. Hours later, across town in Reservoir, a burnt-out vehicle was discovered. Police are now examining whether it was used as a getaway car. Who was Athan Boursinos? The victim, Athan Boursinos, full name Athan Boursinos, was just 21 years old. Described by friends and family as loyal, kind, and engaged to be married, his sudden death shocked the community. Adding to the complexity of the case, it's been revealed that his father is a retired Victoria police officer, a detail that has added a layer of disbelief for many familiar with the family. Athan's fiancée posted emotional tributes online, describing the life they had planned together. The family, through close friends, has asked for privacy and justice during what they call an unimaginable loss. There are also reports that Boursinos was due in court later that same morning for unrelated legal matters. However, police have not drawn any direct connection between his court appearance and the shooting. Timeline of the shooting. What's on record? The attack occurred along Game Lane, a narrow laneway hidden behind back fences with limited visibility from the street. According to witness statements, a brief confrontation took place before multiple gunshots were fired. Some witnesses reported hearing Boursinos say, "Do it," moments before the shots. While this detail remains unverified by police, it adds an eerie element to the case. A silver or gray BMW, believed to belong to the victim, was seen nearby. Investigators are now reviewing surveillance footage and collecting forensic evidence from the scene, including shell casings and potential footprints. The choice of location, isolated and obscured, suggests preparation and intent, further supporting the theory that this was a targeted assassination. The burnt car in Reservoir. Roughly 13 kilometers from the crime scene, police discovered a burnt-out car on Amory Street in Reservoir. The vehicle appears to have been deliberately torched, potentially to destroy forensic evidence. Burning getaway vehicles is a tactic commonly used in gangland-style attacks to eliminate traces like DNA, fingerprints, or bullet residue. While police haven't officially confirmed a link between the Reservoir car and the shooting, the vehicle's discovery is now a key focus of the investigation. What police are doing. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas from Victoria Police's Homicide Squad is leading the investigation. In a public statement, he confirmed that the murder is being treated as a targeted attack but declined to discuss motive. Authorities have issued a public appeal for information, especially from anyone who may have dashcam or CCTV footage from Wollert or reservoir between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on July 31st. Investigators are now conducting ballistic tests on recovered bullets, tracing the origin and history of the burnt-out car, reviewing mobile phone data to track movements, examining camera footage for possible sightings of suspects. So far, no arrests have been made, and no suspect descriptions have been released. Speculation and underworld links. What's verified? Several media outlets have reported possible links between Boursinos and individuals previously connected to organized crime groups. However, police have not confirmed any such affiliations. Investigators have stated only that the shooting was targeted. Beyond that, all other speculation remains unverified. It's essential to treat any claims about underworld ties with caution unless officially confirmed. Police continue to focus on facts that can be proven in court, not media theories. A community in shock. The shooting has left residents of Wollert deeply shaken. Game Lane is a suburban laneway surrounded by homes, parks, and schools. The idea that a young man could be executed in broad daylight has shattered the community's sense of safety. Many parents told local media they were afraid to let their children walk alone or play outside. Increased police patrols have been deployed in the area to reassure residents. The sense of fear and uncertainty has grown, especially with the shooter still at large. Where the case stands. Victim, Athan Boursinos, 21, son of a former police officer. Location, shot in laneway near Champions Parade, Wollert. Time, around 9 a.m., Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Status, no arrests. Police treating it as a targeted killing. Key evidence, burnt-out car found in reservoir. Appeal. Police are urging the public to provide CCTV, dashcam footage, or any relevant tips. The murder of Athan Boursinos has left a family devastated, a community on edge, and investigators racing against time. With few confirmed details and no clear suspect, this case has become one of Melbourne's most pressing homicide investigations. Authorities are urging the public to focus on verified information and avoid spreading speculation. As police work tirelessly to bring clarity and justice to this case, Melbourne continues to wait for answers, for accountability, and for peace in a shaken community. The murder of Athan Boursinos drew widespread attention across Melbourne. News helicopters hovered overhead, capturing images of a quiet suburban street transformed into a heavily guarded crime scene. The timing of the attack, so early in the morning and in such a public place, only deepened public shock and raised fears about whether further violence might follow. Public response and the local impact. In the days following the shooting, police and local leaders worked to calm growing concerns. Additional patrols were deployed, and authorities encouraged residents to remain calm while the investigation progressed. Still, the lack of an arrest left many feeling unsettled and vulnerable. For Wollert, a fast-growing suburb known for its multicultural population and family-oriented atmosphere, the murder marked a turning point. It served as a stark reminder that serious, targeted violence can happen anywhere, even in seemingly peaceful neighborhoods. In the aftermath, residents created a memorial along Game Lane, near where the shooting occurred. Flowers, candles, and handwritten messages of grief lined the footpath. These quiet tributes stood in stark contrast to the violence that had unfolded there, reminding all that behind the headlines are real families, neighbors, and communities trying to make sense of the loss. Many locals have since called for improved safety measures and increased police presence to prevent similar tragedies. A case without answers, still unsolved. As of the latest updates, the case remains unsolved. Despite weeks of intensive investigative work, the identity of the gunman is still unknown, and no one has been publicly named as a suspect. Police have confirmed that the attack was targeted, but they have not released any information about a possible motive. Whether the killing was linked to personal conflict, organized crime, or another reason remains part of an active investigation. The Victoria Police Homicide Squad continues to pursue multiple leads, including forensic evidence from the crime scene in Wollert, examination of a burnt-out car found on Amory Street in Reservoir, 13 kilometers from the scene, CCTV and dash cam footage from both areas, ongoing forensic testing. Authorities have made it clear that building a solid, court-ready case will take time. They continue to urge the public to come forward with any information, no matter how small. Crime Stoppers has been highlighted as a key point of contact for anonymous tips, understanding the verified timeline. To understand the unfolding of events, here is what has been confirmed by police and reliable reports. July 31st, 2025, just before 9 a.m. Athan Boursinos was walking through Game Lane, a narrow laneway behind Champions Parade in Wollert. He was approached by an unknown man. Multiple gunshots were fired. Neighbors, startled by the noise, initially mistook it for fireworks or construction. Upon realizing what had occurred, they called emergency services. First responders arrived quickly, but Athan was critically injured and died at the scene, just meters from his home. Shortly after, police received reports of a burnt-out vehicle on Amory Street in Reservoir, approximately 13 kilometers away. It's believed the car may have been used by the shooter to flee the scene, though its exact role remains under investigation. As the day unfolded, Detective Inspector Dean Thomas and the Victoria Police Homicide Squad took control of the case. Officers canvassed the area for CCTV footage, dash cam recordings, and witness accounts, hoping to trace the movements of the shooter before and after the incident. Later that day, a public appeal was issued asking anyone who was in the Wollert or Reservoir areas that morning to come forward. Residents were reminded that Crime Stoppers allows for secure, anonymous reporting. To date, no arrests have been made, and no suspect descriptions have been released. The investigation remains ongoing, separating fact from speculation. In high-profile investigations like this, it's crucial to distinguish between confirmed facts and unverified media reports. Confirmed details such as the time, location, and the fact that the attack was targeted have come directly from Victoria Police. Other reports, including those stating that Athan was due in court later that day, or claims about what he may have said moments before the shooting, have come from media sources and witness interviews, not police statements. For example, some outlets reported that Athan may have said, "Do it," just before being shot. However, this has not been verified by police and should be treated cautiously. By drawing this line between verified facts and media commentary, we help ensure that the investigation isn't compromised and that public understanding remains based on credible information. Despite significant progress, many critical questions are still unanswered. Who was the shooter? What was the motive? Was the burnt-out car definitively linked to the crime? Could surveillance footage or phone data reveal the escape route or other people involved? Police are likely examining cell phone activity from the area during the time of the shooting, calls or texts that could place individuals at the scene, pings from mobile towers that might help track movements. These are open investigative questions. Until police release further details, the answers remain known only to investigators and potentially the person responsible. Avoiding speculation respects the complexity of the investigation and supports the effort to build a case that can succeed in court. The murder of Athan Boursinos is a tragedy that has left a deep scar on Wollert and the wider Melbourne community. A young man was gunned down in broad daylight near his own home, in what police believe was a premeditated and targeted attack. As of now, no one has been arrested, and no charges have been laid. The investigation is still unfolding, and answers will only come through diligent police work and factual reporting. In the meantime, it's vital that the public avoid spreading rumors or speculation that could hinder the process. Only verified official information should guide discussion and coverage of this case. If you have information, no matter how small, contact Crime Stoppers to help police find the person responsible and bring justice to Athan's family.